Hello everybody, this is JRayE30 and this is a video of how to install Windows 8.1 Preview on your desktop computer. This applies to Windows 7 and Windows 8. So let's get started. Now keep in mind guys, Windows 8.1 is still technically in beta, so this is highly recommended for higher end users who want to try out and see the differences between Windows 8 and Windows 8.1. If you're an average consumer, I'm not stopping you, but bear in mind that you will experience some bugs or crashes within the operating system. So first thing I would say is back up all your data and just be prepared. If you don't like it, make sure you have your Windows 8 installation disk or your USB installation ready, so that way you guys won't have any problems. The first step you want to do is grab the update from Microsoft's website. Personally, what I did is I go on Google and type in Windows 8.1. You can do the same thing with your own personal search engine. Once you do, click on the link on your search results. The first thing you want to do is look for a link called Get It Now. Okay, click it here, and this brings up to this page right here. Now there are two ways you can install Windows 8.1 on your Windows 8 machine. You can go to the Windows Store, or you can actually go and get the ISO file yourself and burn it to a DVD. Windows 7 users, the ISO file is the only way to actually install Windows 8.1 on your machine. Now there's a quick heads up for people who have Windows 8. If you're updating 8.1 to 8.1 from the Windows Store, first of all, I highly not recommend it because it actually causes some issues for me and for some other users out there. Once you do update the Windows Store, you actually download 8.1, and once it's done downloading and installing, it restarts, and sometimes it crashes right there on the initial setup. So if you don't want to go through all the hassle, just download the ISO file. For the users who want to install Windows 8.1 with the ISO method, once you get to this page, scroll down and look for Get the ISO files. Once this page is loaded, and once you go down, and you'll see a bunch of different languages for the ISO files right here. And once you guys write this down, this is the product key for 8.1. Once you do write it down, download your appropriate language ISO file. Right here though is English 32 and 64, 3.8 gigabytes for 64, and 32-bit has 2.8. Once you're done downloading Windows 8.1 onto your computer, you can go ahead and take the ISO file and burn it to a DVD. But in this case, in this video, I'm going to show you how to install it within Windows. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the video, please back up your data because I'm not responsible for any data loss or anything that happens. Now, let's go ahead and click on the ISO file and go ahead and right click, run as administrator on setup. And hit yes. And the first thing this will pop up says if it wants to get the latest updates. I highly recommend saying yes. If you have the option, say no. But let's go ahead and get the latest updates. And by the way, down here it says I want to help make the installation of Windows better. I just unclick that. Once the installer is done downloading the latest updates from Microsoft, it's going to go ahead and restart. And the first thing will pop up is the product key. That product key I showed you guys earlier in the video, this is the perfect time to bust it out. So go ahead and input it, or in this case, copy it from the website and paste it. And once you're done, it's going to check to see if it's valid. Go ahead and click next. And then check accept the license terms. And you got three options here. You can keep the Windows settings, personal files and apps, or your personal files only, or nothing at all, which means a fresh Windows load. In this situation, I only have a fresh load of Windows 8. The only thing that's changed is just the wallpaper. So I'll go ahead and keep Windows settings, personal files, and apps. And it's going to check to make sure that if everything's checked out before it's ready to install. Now, like I said, guys, please back up your data before you guys install the update. So we'll go ahead and install. And the screen will go ahead and this will show, and it's installing Windows 8.1 Preview. It could take up to an hour, it could take up to less depending on your computer, but once this is done, we'll go ahead and continue on with the tutorial. I thought I'd point out to you guys that while this is installing, you'll probably notice that the percentage bar would probably stop at a random number for a long period of time. That's completely normal and there's nothing to worry about. Alright, once your computer is done restarting, it's going to show a beta fish and it says setting up. At the beginning of the step, it's going to say setting up at 3%. It will probably take, I think, between 1 to like 5 minutes depending on the computer's performance. I don't know why it's like that, but it stays there for a while. It's completely normal, then it will pick up speed from there. And this is the longest step right here out of the whole entire procedure of installing Windows 8.1. Alright, your computer will restart again after that step has been finished, and it will say game device is ready, and from there we should be able to get onto the initial setup on Windows 8.1. Alright, I'm back, and my computer had to restart one more time before we can actually get into the initial setup screen here. And you got two options you can pick. You can pick customize your settings, or in this case, to speed things up, we're going to go ahead and click on use express settings. On this page, you're going to have to sign into your Microsoft account. Now, unfortunately, with 8.1 preview, there's no other way around this. So if you have a Microsoft account, go ahead and put the information in, or if you don't, you're going to have to create a new account. For us Windows 8 users, we should not have a problem. For people who are coming from Windows 7, probably majority of you guys are going to have to make an account. So once that's done, we're going to go ahead and go to the next step. Alright, once you're done putting in information, you're going to have to go ahead and put a code in. And this will show up on your screen. Go ahead and click next. And a code will be sent to your email. And once you get the code, you go ahead and click next again. Alright, basically once you're done putting in the code that Microsoft has sent you, this is the next thing you'll see on the setup screen. This is talking about Skydrive. It's basically like iCloud, uploads all your personal data onto the cloud, so if anything happens to your PC, it's all up in the storage. You can have the option to turn off Skydrive settings, or go ahead and click next. In this case, we'll just click next. And it says creating your account. It's finalizing your settings. And you're going to see where it says hi. And it's going to be setting things up. And it's going to be installing apps. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to skip this part here and we'll be right back. Alright, we're basically at the last stage of the setup, and this is Windows 8.1. Now we're completely done with the installation. And go ahead to desktop. Nothing has really changed, although you're going to see at the bottom of your screen it will say Windows 8.1 Pro Preview watermark. Basically, now you know that you're running 8.1. You can see there's a new start menu here, or actually, I'm sorry, the start button, but it's actually going to bring you back to the Metro UI. So basically, that concludes the tutorial of how to install Windows 8.1 Preview on your Windows desktop machine. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to drop them down in the comment box below. And this is my first video, by the way, so thanks to you guys for being patient, and thanks for watching, and subscribe.